Hey folks, it's Jim from the Rewind, and keeping up with the tie-in for The Dark Knight Rises, I revisited one of my childhood favorites, the original 1989 Batman film, directed by Tim Burton and starring Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Keaton stars as the infamous title character, and when he's not fighting crime as Batman, he broods and deals with the complications of having two lives as Bruce Wayne. This is only enhanced when he meets photojournalist Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger, not aware of the billionaire's alter ego. As Batman, he has to contend with the Joker, formerly known as Jack Napier, played by Jack Nicholson. After falling into a vat of chemicals, Jack's appearance has changed along with his mind to a certain degree. He becomes the Joker and takes over the criminal underworld to terrorize Gotham City, as his reappearance addresses Bruce's most tragic childhood memory. When it comes to the Batman on screen, there are two schools of thought. There are the people who prefer Christopher Nolan's grittier and more realistic take on the Gotham universe, and there are the people who prefer Burton's more gothic and theatrical take. For me, while I prefer Nolan's Batman films, I think that has more to do with storytelling and an understanding of characters than anything else. So I have to say, after all this time, I still thoroughly enjoy Burton's first Batman film. Burton's strengths have never been storytelling, and that's evident here, and even though Burton has made a career of making movies about outsiders, freaks, and loners, I guess Batman wasn't enough. Too much focus is put on Nicholson instead of Keaton. It would have been more fitting to call this film The Joker. Also, Burton doesn't seem to understand what makes Batman so interesting and different than most vigilantes. He doesn't kill. Not in this film, however. He's more than willing to kill in Burton's films, and yes, Batman's self-control in the comics and in Nolan's universe is a very important thing. There's also some flat-out ridiculous things when Batman shoots plenty of gunfire and it all surrounds the Joker, rather than hitting him. I also don't think the Joker would just stand there. Yes, Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight was suicidal, but I don't think that can be said for Nicholson's Joker. Also, the reveal of the Joker being the one that killed Bruce's parents is interesting and somewhat fitting, and yet it doesn't entirely work for me. It makes Gotham look that much smaller, even if it is a memorable sequence. The fact that the man who was responsible for Bruce's parents' death is also the man who would later go on to be his greatest enemy was a miscalculation on Burton's part. You might be asking why I love it if I have so many problems with it. Well, it's just fun from beginning to end. The Danny Elfman score is iconic, associating perfectly with the characters, and it's something that seems to be lacking in most superhero films. There's the beautiful Academy Award-winning art direction by Peter Young and Anton Frost, where the line from Sam Hamm's script, Gotham City, as if hell had erupted through the sidewalk and kept growing, served as inspiration for the look of the film. This was before Burton's films looked like a collection of things from Hot Topic. The designs of the Batsuit, Batwing, and Batmobile are ingrained in my brain. They were certainly modeled over the Bat look, but they were never too flashy like some of the designs in the Joel Schumacher films. Keaton, who has always been a solid and underrated character actor, is suitable in the role, though he doesn't have a clear arc, and he's also considerably overshadowed by Nicholson. Props to him nailing the right voice by just slightly altering his own original voice. Basinger brings a sense of humor, even if she's mostly a damsel in distress, but she does occasionally provide some help. No one screams quite like her. Still, this movie could have been called The Jack Nicholson Show. While a bit menacing in that Nicholson sort of way, he's chewing up scenery left and right, and he's darkly funny throughout, provided with more than a handful of memorable lines. Some will find the Prince song dated in the context of the film, and while I wouldn't argue with that, this is one of those rare occasions where a film's datedness can work to its advantage, in the same way the Adam West Batman show still holds up. There was no way the show was going to be dark in the 1960s, so they favored a comedic spin. Burton's Batman is a result of the 1980s, so I'll forgive it for its obvious Prince songs. Burton's first dark take on The Dark Knight will always have a special place in my heart, and perhaps we would have never had the better defined Batman in Nolan's trilogy if this film never came out. I rarely have much to say about Burton positively nowadays, but if there was any guy that got the ball rolling, it was him. That's it for the Movie Rewind. Have a good day, folks. Until next time.
Winged freak terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me.